What's up, beautiful people? I know it's Saturday. I know, to be honest, Rudy, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't promote this that much, but I kind of wanted to help you out. I thought I'd do it live, right? Because I think it would be good for my audience, to see me break down your business, see where we're at, and give you honest, helpful tips. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I mean, yeah, who cares who sees it or not? It's just you and I chatting. But
So tell me talk to me about your business. Like, what is your business right now? Like, describe your business and like the problems you're dealing with.
yeah, so I mean, the best way to describe my business, I mean, I'm a fellow Astro student, and there's definitely been periods where I question that model and that method, but all in all, it's done well for me, and so my goal is generally working on the acquisition side, getting contracts through real estate agents, through listed properties. I would say generally is at least how I think of my main strategy. I sent you a deal and income sheet the other day, but you will see a handful of JV deals as well, and then a lot of JV dispo additionally. But,
so what are we struggling with? Like, what are our problems?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, if like just previewing the stats makes sense or not, but I mean, this year will be my third full-time year in wholesale. I started, early 2023. I made 64K off of 16 deals that was sort of like arbitrarily splitting each 50-50 with a partner. You're no longer in that partnership, but I mean, him and I are still close and friends, and now just JVing when it makes sense, which is kind of what we should have been doing all along, which I think a lot of people realize. And then last year was year two, a total roller coaster. I mean, I did 30K my first month in January, and then I basically between October and September did like 110K and made 160 overall. So the in between months felt like, okay, do I have to go get a real job or what's going to go on here? And then, the last few months really felt great. And then, January and February this year,
consistently getting deals. Like we can close sometimes, but we're not very consistently getting deals. Is what it sounds like is the kind of the problem.
I'll say that my biggest desire right now is like, how can it just like, there's just not a question. Like each month there's at least two deals, at least two deals, at least two deals. And then I can maybe focus
on having a system. What is your system? So talk to me about how are you getting in new agents? What is your system? What system do you have? Like a CRM? Like what do you use?
Yeah. So, I mean, up until like the end of last year, I mean, I was just basically rolling off a Google sheet and trying to utilize that for just going back for follow-ups and things like that. But I would say generally speaking, I mean, people say money's in the follow-up, and I'm sure that it is, but I hadn't been finding it there, and I hadn't really been focusing on it. And I'm saying,
a problem.
I'm not saying that
is in the follow-up. That's not like
I'm not saying that as a good thing. I'm saying that like clearly I was like hitting low-hanging fruit, or basically just putting out enough offers that people that were ready to go were going to be deals. And
so what you did was, so are we still doing Google Sheets? What are we using now?
Yeah, so I work with some guys that I kind of found inadvertently because I heard about this CRM called Close because this guy Chandler Sane was talking about on YouTube, and I couldn't find any information about it. What's that?
It's what Keegley uses.
Close. Yeah, so actually, I think some of the same guys that set up Keegley, who aren't exclusively real estate, I found them and they set me up. I mean, the whole goal is like not just CRM setup, but like set up a sales process.
So talk to me about your whole process. So like go through me from how we get agents' phone numbers into the CRM, then what do we do with them? And then how do we give me the conveyor belt of your business from the very first thing, lead generation, all the way to closing and dispo. I need to we need a breakdown. So how do you get agents?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, generally speaking, and I want to kind of find a way to develop like some sort of like agent outreach method, but I'm combing through Zillow for listings to call. And then I have a Google sheet that will now send those directly to the CRM and set up a lead card for those. And
so, so you go on Zillow, you copy and paste the number into a Google sheet?
Yeah, copy and paste the address, agent's name, and number into a Google sheet. And then that automatically sends and creates a contact card in the CRM.
So not bad. That is a very for the fact you made almost 200 grand last year.
Yeah, but I mean, 90 of it was in November, December, and 30 of it was in January,
That's
right?
fine. You made 200 grand last year, right?
Say that again.
It was 200 though total.
160 total.
Okay, you have enough money for a better system than that just for lead generation. So you're like, how much time does that take up of your day?
The adding new deals,
Getting new agents' phone numbers into that Google Sheet.
yeah, I would say it depends. I mean, sometimes I'm just emptying like the Redfin automatic emails and putting the
It has to take. Doesn't it take hours?
Yeah, it can. I haven't always timed it. And I would say ideally doing that.
What you need to do is you 100%. You're at the point where you should just buy the agent list. Like, do you have PropStream?
I've had it in the past, but I didn't find a use for it, so I don't right now.
Well, here's the use for it. Are you ready? I'm gonna share my screen. So I'm gonna give you all the sauce. So here's PropStream, right? Guys, if you want, I have a referral code for you guys where you guys can get it for cheaper. Just hit me up on Instagram for it. I don't know if it's in this live or not, or if it automatically generates. I have no clue. Here's what I use PropStream for. You probably just didn't know you could do this. So I'm gonna filter MLS. I'm not gonna actually do it right now. I'm just gonna save one property, but theoretically you would save all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I save this property, whatever. I don't know, it's gonna add, oh, okay, my team already used everything up. So I don't know, I'm gonna just take a MLS Denver. We're just gonna do this list. Okay. Hold on. It's been a while since I've even been in here. So where is it? It's like somewhere in here. Owner name, where's the agent name? It's like in here if we look for it. Might be going to quickly here. Hold on. Here. MLS agent name, MLS agent phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So for $100 a month, I can download every single phone number that's on the MLS into an Excel spreadsheet with PropStream within 10 minutes.
And you're utilizing that for agent outreach or for, I mean, because again, the method I'm using right now is mostly MLS like listed properties, like banging out offers on those.
Great. Well, then you can also, those are all the MLS listed properties.
Right. Okay.
So that just saved you hours of your time if you're willing to spend $100 a month, right? Because you can literally get all of them, basically every single listed property and every single one with their phone number. And then you can just upload it to whatever CRM you have, right? Mm-hmm. There's also Dr. Bill's agent lists. That's better data than PropStream, but it's more expensive. It's like $300 to $900 for 10,000 agents. Well, that's like $100 for 10,000 agents. Mm-hmm. So that should say, so if you've spent hours just doing that, do this from now on. You have enough money to afford that, buy it, and then you save hours of your time efficiently actually just having the agent's phone numbers immediately, right?
Right.
Did that sink in? Because if you don't do this, that's not, your business isn't going to grow.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I guess my curiosity too is like, I mean, because looking through the MLS, like I'm looking at to see like, okay, you know, is this a property worth offering on or not? You're saying just offer on all of them or call all of them. And then if it's not something you should offer on, just try to use it as an outreach moment.
So this is, okay, so then that's a good point. So
just for me,
you only are doing on markets and then you're not following up with agents afterwards?
Well, I'll say that my goal now is to follow up with agents afterwards. And the system that was set up, you know, by those guys that set up my closed CRM, you know, at least gives me opportunity to be better at follow up. And so far, I'm a little bit better at follow up.
The business method of only getting deals from the MLS is a trash one. That's my personal opinion. The better way of doing it is trying to make as many agent relationships as physically possible and then following up with them automatically every other 2 weeks. That's how you make a fuck ton of money. If you're just putting in offers on the MLS, I don't think that's not a repeatable business model, because you just got lucky with the offers that you put in, that you got there at the right time, right? While this will systematically get you deals every single month, right? So part of the, at least in my opinion, we also have to change the business model. Either we have to change the business model, or you have to create a system where you're sending in hundreds of thousands of offers. Maybe not that much, maybe thousands of offers every single day, right? It's one or the other that you have to do. It's possible to do the thousands of offers route. I don't like it as much as the agent relationship route, and I know you'll be better at the agent relationship route because you're like me. I can tell you're not system minded. You're people minded. You're good at creating relationships and stuff like that. I already know it. I can tell.
Yeah, I mean it's true.
By the fact that you reached out to me, I know. So, like, we need to switch business models a bit, in my opinion.
And that's kind of a curiosity on my end too, right? Like, yeah, I mean, I think the key to MLS offers now, I mean, I guess some of my results might say that you don't need like thousands of offers, but you need a shit ton, right? Like when you hear people talking about like, I made, I mean, the Facebook group is like, I made a couple offers, or I made 3 offers today. And like, what are we talking about now? If you're doing listings, like, you got to
make like 50 a day minimum.
Right. And that's what it needs to look at. Sometimes you're talking to the agent. Sometimes you're just hitting an email. Whatever it is, you got to get that offer in front of them to start getting something going. I mean, a lot of times it gets locked up 2 or 3 times and they come back to you, right? But, I think a question for me to you, especially in this regard, is so you're saying you would recommend switching to agent, like the cold.
Well, I think you should do both. Outreach. So like, I think you should have both. You can use offering stuff on the MLS as a method for getting more agents in your pipeline, but where real reoccurring revenue comes from in wholesaling is consistently following up with every single agent you gave an offer for, not just the property, but just with them in general, seeing if they have fixers every other week forever. That's how you actually make a sustainable business. Beyond, you can use the way that you're talking about to create an agent pipeline, but if you don't create the agent pipeline, you will always just never know when you're going to get a deal or not.
Which again, as you and I mean, as we initially spoke, I mean, that's kind of like my biggest question mark now too, is like, how can I guarantee that I don't have a 0 deal month, right? And then
the only way to do that is follow up. And the only way to do that is follow up.
And then grow from there. I mean, I do feel grateful for the fact that I have made all these MLS offers. So like I have about 1,100 agents on a spreadsheet that could easily go into my CRM at any point. And I would say most of those are from my new main markets. My first year, I probably closed deals in 9 states. And my second year,
you want to forever, for the rest of your life, have a deal a month, you need 1,500 agents in a single market. Then you will. I don't care how bad you are. I'm not saying you're bad at closing, but I don't care how bad you are at closing or sales or anything, you will have a deal a month for the rest of your life.
And then as a one-man show currently, I mean, 2 questions there, right? Who to add, when to add, and how to add, because that freaks me out. But also as a one-man show currently, the MLS offer sort of like, I don't know, it feels tangible, makes sense. But how can you do the repeatable, agent outreach method as a one-man show currently? Is that
it's really easy? So, I mean, I don't know close at all, right? That's the thing. I'll show you my system. So I have a product called Simple Send, right? And I don't really care if you buy this system or not. The point is you need a system like this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know that you have one, and closed CRM seems to be like robust, right, and kind of bulletproof. But I don't really care what it's a little bit complicated in my brain,
I'm not trying to convince you of the CRM. I'm just going to show you what you need. You have to recreate this. You can either buy my CRM and then it's created for you, or you can recreate it yourself. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to show you what you need.
Yeah. No.
So I'm going to get you the follow-up technique first. Once I've had an intro call with a person, all of this, I send them voicemails. I send them follow-ups like, hey, just called. I'm trying to buy 5 more fixers. Do you still have any upcoming fixers? I just called again. Do you have anything coming up that would make a nice rehab? I follow up with them every 2 weeks. I do another voicemail. I'm really trying to buy something. I follow up with them for literally ever. The system just starts from the beginning if they never respond. This is how you get deals. Because my system automatically follows up for me every other week. So most of my deals are off market because I know about the deals before they even hit the market, because I'm actually following up with not even 1,500, probably 5,000. I have 5,000 in my CRM that are actively know me and my act managers. That equals 2 to 4 deals a month consistently, because everyone knows me and knows it because I've been texting them over and over and over again for months. That's how you create an actual business. Randomly putting out MLS offers, not consistent. You will sometimes get some deals, but it's an inconsistent way of doing it versus having an actual system of follow-up, right? And the issue for you is your lead generation is taking way too much time. If you did my method, you could get all the agents' phone numbers and then just hit them with text messages to see if they'd be interested in working with you. And then you can do intro calls with them, put them into that follow-up, and then you don't have to do anything after that. You just have to keep making more agent relationships and just worry about that. You could have 1,600 within a month or two. And then when you have that, you consistently have a deal a month if you're keeping up with your workflow, right? So you can do the MLS offer route, but even that route, I don't even think most people are able to live off of that solely. I don't know a single business that consistently generates revenue that only does MLS offers. They also need that follow-up, because the follow-up is the consistent one. The MLS offer, every once in a while, you just get a banger out of nowhere. But that's how you have consistent business, is by nurturing the relationships with realtors and getting them to consistently send you deals over and over and over and over again. So that's why you're not making money consistently. It's a mix of you're spending too much time on lead generation. You need a better system that can follow up automatically for you with your agents. Whatever they set up in close, I don't know if they set that up for you, right?
Yeah, I would say in a sense we tried, right? So that any agent, like once we're, if an offer is never going to turn into a deal, I turn them into a follow-up. But that's new, right? So that's just barely getting implemented. It's not going automatically.
It's a follow-up to you. Does it send an automatic text, or what's it do?
No, it's gonna basically ping and remind me to give them a call or text and try to keep that relationship going.
You can, but that's really shitty. That means you're gonna manually have to text people.
Right.
Are you gonna manually remember to text 1,600 agents every other week? That's so time consuming, right?
Yeah. And then like a limiting belief in my head is like, does it seem disingenuous when it's another bot? Like, I'm on a bunch of.
Yes, they will know that it's an automatic text, and they don't really give a shit most of the time if you're actually able to close deals. Like, yes, if it was from your personal cell phone and it was a blue message and it was you manually reminding them, of course that looks more legit. And also, you will get no money because that's not scalable.
I mean,
right?
up until I got closed in October, I mean, I was on my iPhone, right? But
you just don't have a system, right? Close, you need to talk to those guys and see if it can be made to be automatic text messages. If it's just pinging you a reminder and you have 1,600 agents to text, that's also taking up an insane amount of your time, right?
Well, and I'm just not meeting all the follow-ups that I'd like to do, right? It's just
Yeah, so, and also you're not doing it anyways because you
it
don't have
hasn't
time.
been achieved yet, right? Like I keep good and trying to get to like that desirable thing, but it's not achieved yet, and get all my offers out. It's just not. It's not
It's not
all.
possible.
It's
You're
not all
trying to
piecing
do too
together.
much manually. You're doing too much manually.
And then I go
So I'm
back
not gonna
into. No, go on.
I'm not gonna say that like unless Close can make it where you're automatically sending texts, it's just you need something like Simple Send or something that can actually send messages for you. You need to automate more things. You need to pay for something like PropStream so you just get all the agent's info. And then you need to send out text messages to these people that are automatic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your biggest issue right now is your business is too much you, right? You could hire VAs to do all of that stuff, but that's also unnecessarily expensive. All you need is a system like Simple Send, and you could automatically send text messages immediately, right? So I would talk to I mean, it's really a bitch to change CRM. So I would talk to those guys, see if it's possible to do automatic text messaging with Close. I think there is. I think that's how Keegly, there's no way Keegly does it manually. I call bullshit. There's a way that Keegly does it automatically from the system. So you have to figure that out with the guys who set up the Close, how to do that, right? So yeah, I mean, that's it. That's literally it. That's like if you need to figure out a way better. So your system sucks.
And you think, because I think that's something that's been in my head too. Because like I know that Astro and other people promote agent outreach, and it's not that I haven't done it. It sort of just comes as a accidental byproduct, not a purposeful one. I'll tell you that, an accidental byproduct of making offers. But my two biggest deals
MLS offers it is not how you make a consistent business. It's how you can get a couple deals that way every year. But like how you get a consistent business is through following up with people that you already know.
Yeah.
I would say I make maybe, like $100,000 from MLS stuff that I just without any previous agent relationship. I make probably like $900,000 from agent outreach and following up with agents.
To get off market deals and close them. Because I mean, my two biggest deals last year, one was 28K, one was 30K. They were agent off market deals, right?
And how'd you get the off market part then? How did that happen?
I mean, I had made an MLS offer and somehow we connected again, right? I think one of them specifically, the deal I made an offer on just wasn't ever going to pencil for me. But she's like, for some reason, because I don't always throw this in, but I was just like, do you have anything else coming up? And she's like, I got a deal in South Nashville.
So also, you absolutely always, every time you talk to an agent, have to ask them if they have anything else. Every single time.
And I do now, because now like the MLS like offers, which has been my bread and butter. Now it's like, what else do you have? What else do you have? Just because I got proven, especially the end of last year, because it was a deal that I realized which my mindset wasn't there yet, but I realized I should have wholetailed. So I'm like really hot for like another deal like that. It was off market. I appreciate you saying that because that was kind of, I wouldn't say my question, but like something that seems to have happened last year and this year was like, oh, like is the MLS like in like this Astro agent focused Jerry Norton, like is this not the thing? And then like I have this like basically like I'm doubting the model and I'm like, oh, when am I going to graduate to
repeatable business? Unless maybe it could be if you were sending thousands out.
Which I don't want to do. I mean, I've worked.
But you don't have the personality for that. That would be like, that's a really good integrator. Like if someone was shy but really good with systems, could create a whole system for sending out thousands of emails every single day. That's the type of person who would do good in that, like a Mahmood or like a Myron Briley. Like these types of people who do this type of stuff, they can create crazy systems. You're like me. You can just connect with people. So I'm already going to tell you a superior business model for you is the agent outreach follow-up that goes out every other week, and then you make those really deep connections with agents. So
because I guess in my head it's like, man, like it feels tangible to make an offer on the MLS listing. It feels less tangible to just call and be like, I've got nothing, I've got nothing, I've got nothing, I've got something in 2 weeks.
You just send them a text.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, you got any more fixers? No? All good. Appreciate you. Text in 2 weeks.
And you're saying send offers in between that, but it's just texting on its own, and you're jumping in when they respond.
Hey, you just send a text every 2 weeks, just checking in, man. You got anything? No, all good. Appreciate you. Do that with 1,500 agents. Watch what happens.
Yeah,
you're actually definitely going to get a deal. Some people are gonna tell you about I get sent probably like every single day just from mine, let alone my teams. I probably get sent like 10 leads, 10 off
Mhm.
markets that I know about every single day because I'm doing that. And they've been getting texts from my number forever. And they're like, okay, this guy wants it. This guy is so consistent, right? Your issue also is probably you don't do it consistently. You probably do a follow up, then you follow up in 2 months, and then maybe 3 months, and then maybe 1 week, and like you're probably not doing stuff consistently. You also have to consistently be following up. There are people in my CRM who I've been following up with for 4 years consistently. You think they know my number by now? Hell yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So I'm emphasizing this so you understand your problem.
Yeah, no, I wondered if you were going to say that too, because I mean, yeah, I got so used to like the MLS listings offers that like going to a straight up outreach only model or outreach, mostly outreach first, like out 80% outreach, 20% listing offers, is definitely turning it upside down. And then, yeah, I
You
mean, I was
can
going to say,
do both, right? Like you can use MLS offers as a way to get them into your agent pipeline.
yeah,
Right? That's fine if you want. I don't like it because you're spending hours doing that when you could spend 5 minutes just building the agent pipeline. But it'll work eventually too. The point is the agent pipeline is what's going to actually give you a consistent deal. You were asked me, how do I make sure I never have a 0 month? That's how.
yeah.
Create an agent pipeline. It's not going to be offering more on the MLS for you. For certain people, maybe, but not for you. For you, it's creating that agent pipeline that where people know your phone, where 1,500 people know your phone number and they get a text from you every other week. That's how you make fucking money.
Well, I mean, I had worked on someone else's system where they were blasting out like thousands of offers. And that, like, I mean, my worry of being disingenuous, that felt disingenuous. And people were
Yeah,
just
I think it's
rolling.
way more disingenuous than sending just a "Hey, do you have anything?"
Yeah,
text.
no, I totally agree because I didn't
It's
like
one or
that.
the other. You either have to blast out thousands, or you have to just send a check-in text with the agents that you have.
Well, and I'm curious your rebuttal to this. So that, I mean, I kind of feel like I know your answer, but I started to bring it up a minute ago. But like, this happened last year and this year too, where I was like, well, okay, like the real guys, quote unquote, real guys, like whatever the hell that means in my head, but to get consistent, they're doing marketing. So like in my head, I'm like, oh, I need to graduate to direct to seller marketing, grow
That's
some
not true.
balls, and do wholesaling the real way. And and like that thought is like creeping in again. It's like, oh, like.
And that's objectively false.
Yeah, no, I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. And do
Well, I mean,
those thoughts ever creep
he's
into
the
your
biggest
head too?
wholesaler. Keegley's the biggest wholesaler in the entire nation, and probably like 80% of their business is direct to agents / wholesalers.
I mean, same with New Western, right? People can talk shit on New Western, but those guys they crush. They fucking
Smaller
crush.
wholesalers do direct to seller. To be honest, to be fair, like there are big boys who do direct to seller. They're not as big as New Western. They're not as big as Keegley. The absolute biggest players do direct to agent and do wholesalers. The reason being is my cost of marketing is now zero,
Well,
which
yeah,
now means that I can scale in a way that they can't. I keep so much more of my fucking revenue than they do.
I mean, obviously that's a part that's hard to get past my head too, right? Because like watching Jerry Norton before I started doing this for real, make offers and like that made sense to me. Spending money, sounds crazy at this point, especially because I made 64K one year, 160 last year. Like those aren't amazing numbers, but like that's something to live off
Your
of.
problem is you need a system.
And I know
That's
I can
that's
do it
your
better.
problem.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with your business model as much. It's just the system you have, right? Like even the on-market MLS offers you could do. I don't know anyone who does that exclusively though. Everyone who actually makes money with agents has an agent outreach pipeline for
Mhm.
sure.
Well,
So
and then you mentioned Keegley and I said New Western, but in my head, those are both like dispo houses. But like what you do and what we're talking about right now is not a dispo house, correct?
they are also dispo houses, and dispo houses is eventually how you make the most amount of money. But
Which is
Keegley,
crazy to me, but I agree with you. But in my head, when I first started, it was like, oh, I want control of the contract. I want to have the contract. Like, how could I make money trying to race to sell someone else's contract? But I realized you're right. Those guys make more money. Dispo.
I mean, I don't know Keegley's numbers when it comes to wholesale dispositions versus agent outreach, how much they make from each. To be honest, I don't know the split in that. I'm willing to bet they make like 60 or 70 from agent outreach. I'm
Like
willing to bet.
Their own acquisitions is what you're saying.
I'm willing to bet. I might be wrong. I don't actually know Keegley's numbers on this, but I don't know. I have a feeling it's mainly agent outreach, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I'd have to ask Jamil, right? I could text him real quick just out of curiosity. But I do both also. Like, I dispo other people's deals as well, right? Because eventually what you'll realize is in wholesaling, what is your competitive advantage in wholesaling is your list of buyers in the end, right? Sales stuff, anyone can have sales stuff, but not everyone can have a huge cash list of buyers. That's like your proprietary knowledge that will eventually make you the most amount of money. But that's future tripping for you. You need an actual business. Like that's stuff like to worry about later, in my opinion. Like you need to first worry about like, can we create an actual system that generates enough leads that I can get a deal a month?
Well, and that would be the other, like the last question, I guess, too, is like, so say whether it's, you know, I have the guys that set up my close to kind of create that, and we now focus on that, or I jump into a, you know, built out go high level like yours, something like that. There's a system going, I'm figuring it out. It's, you know, I'm starting to get on that train. Then what? I mean, does it add?
Then watch how many fucking leads come in. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. But how about it? Let's say I close, then I start close. You know, I mean, technically last year I did close, you know, 1.8 deals a month, or whatever, you know, it was. But, you know, let's just say I start closing 2 deals a month from that system. Now what? Do I add an admin VA? Do I now focus on dispoing my own deals and not using, you know?
Yeah. The next thing would be an admin VA, I would say.
In that system, what are they doing? Because I mean, I only ask this because before we talk right now, I was considering trying to get an admin VA to help me get offers out. Basically, you know, I'll comp it, but then like they could create the offer.
Like your system is much more important than an admin VA, in my opinion. In my opinion, your system is way more important than an admin VA. Like an admin VA is fine. You could do that eventually. But my opinion is you shouldn't be ever hitting 0 months if you to hire an admin VA. That shouldn't be a thing yet. You should, with your system, be able to close a deal a month minimum, right?
Well, currently it's pretty frustrating.
You would average out to 1.8, which is fine, but
well, yeah, I mean, it's really frustrating, right? I mean, I did 60K in December and I did 0K in January and February. So like it feels like what the hell is going on, right? I mean, it feels like
it's because you don't have a system. I'll keep saying it over and over again.
Yeah.
You don't have a good system. Like you have to follow up. But the issue is you're not following up because you don't have enough time to follow up because you're doing everything manually. Stop doing things manually. Pay for leads. Pay for leads before you pay for an admin VA. Eventually, what an admin VA will do is they'll just get the leads for you. They'll pay for it for you and then upload it to your CRM. That's what an admin VA does. But you don't need that yet. You need to just you just need to actually create a system where you get people's phone numbers in your CRM. That, and also you need a system for automatically following up with every agent in your CRM. That's number one thing you need to work on. Once you do that, you'll have consistent deals, and then you can worry about hiring an admin VA if you feel like it, right? But that's not nearly as important. So there's not really much more to say, I feel like.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like, I feel like that's once you do that, you're good, bro. And there's nothing else to focus on right now. That's the main thing to focus on. Once you do that, you'll have a 30 to 40 grand a month business. Easy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Easy, lemon squeezy.
Well, cool. I mean, hopefully, you know, my trials of just blasting a shit ton of offers, you know, getting at this point a little bit over 50 deals total over the finish line can just make jumping into a full agent outreach model quicker and easier than someone started from zero. But maybe I'm just telling myself.
No, it will be. You know, trust me, you're gonna have definitely a lot easier of a time than starting from zero. You know how to close, right? So no, it'll be good. I don't think there's much else we need to talk about. I feel like that's
cool. I mean, dude, that works for me. I mean, I don't know if it's possible, like, you know,
follow up,
separate call or text. Well, follow up, yeah, maybe that'd be fun. But like, you know, maybe walk me through your CRM. I don't know. You know, I'm not just trying to like.
Just do it right now. We can do that right
Twist
now.
your ass or bubble it up, but I'll
Just do
say
it
that
right
I'm
now.
afraid of go high level because I just feel like it feels too complicated, which is kind of what I like about close. But
So this is mine, but I will.
I feel like yours are, there's a handful of people that have CRMs that would be already built out, right? That feels like an
So I mean,
easy
it's pretty
sell.
simple, right? So you create. Let's say you download a list from PropStream, right? You have a list of agents in here.
Mm-hmm.
Then what you would do is you would import contacts. Contacts. You would put the CSV right there. You do that. I don't do this anymore. So I don't know. Anyway, so continue. You just map like, okay, this is for phone number, right? Like here's the contact name, right? This is what it is in the Excel file sheet. Name. Sorry, it should be last name, first name. All you do is just match them, right? Pretty simple. You just click all the values, match them, whatever, right? I have to do phone number, so hold on. Phone. Don't map the other ones, just for now. Next. Create a smart list. You name it. Denver agents. And then I confirm the contacts. And then you start a bulk import, right?
Yep.
Easy. Then what you do, you take all the agents you've got. You press this add to automation. I think it's like intro in here or begin. This person delete all the workflows? Wait a minute, hold on. Then it would be, hold on. I'm in someone else's, so I got to see, like, did they just delete everything? Hold on a second. I'm just curious. Yeah, this person did, sorry. So I just chose someone's random one. They deleted everything. I don't know why. Usually people don't delete stuff. Take all these. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working in theirs right now. Those might be like inactive accounts. Boom. And there's a course on like how to do this. So agent outreach workflow. You click add in drip mode, whatever, starts at 150, you do 3 every 5 minutes between, I don't know, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
You click add to automation and it just starts sending out the text. And that's it, right? So think about how quickly I can start getting agents compared to you. How long does it take you to send out text versus me? That will send out like 200 to 300 texts per day, right? And I could do more, but I don't want them to mark my number as spam.
And you get to use the same number? Or do you have to switch, like, blow through numbers all the time?
No, you can use the same number.
Okay.
You'll have numbers that are for like outreach, and those you're constantly switching. But then at some point, once you've hit them and they want to talk to you, you switch them to a number that you always keep, your like main number. That's what I do, and it's set up in the system that way too.
But how does that translate to the lead? Like you're like, oh, go to a new number. Like that seems interesting to me.
Yeah, just be like, oh, like this is my work line I called you on, but I really want to build this relationship. Here's my personal number, and then you give them that number. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Nobody cares. You're also thinking too much about what they're thinking. They don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, because in my head, I'm on like a bunch of older wholesalers. Like
stop saying in my head. In my head, in your head, the agent doesn't give the agents in the agent's head. They don't care.
Yeah.
They truly don't. So that's it. That's like I could show you more of what the CRM could do, but that's the basic thing you need to happen.
And do you have
And
like
honestly,
separate,
you don't need to buy my CRM. My point is you need something that can do that.
and do you have separate like buckets or tags or like highlights set up for like agents that like feed more deals than others? So you like can
If
like
you want, I have VIP agents. It's however you want to make it, right?
Mhm.
I mean, you can set it where you like so.
Well, how would you spend your time, with this? It's just like responding to every single text until you find out who's good. But then when you find out who's good, is there
No,
like a way
no,
to
no,
kind of
no.
focus your
Everyone.
efforts
There's nobody's good or bad. If every single agent could potentially have a deal for you
at any moment? You're saying
at any
treat
moment.
everyone equals.
Treat everyone equally, unless you close a deal with them. That's what I do.
Mhm.
So Brad here has 1,151 agents, right?
Oh, so there's a
Um,
VIP sort of
Sarah
column.
has 1,140, right? So, and then these are the people we've actually closed a deal with. Everyone else gets the exact same treatment. I'm not gonna. I don't care. I don't know who's better than who. It doesn't really matter with my
Mhm.
system. Who cares? It's all automatic anyways. Why do I need to focus on the people? Why don't I just focus on everyone? It's at no extra time to me.
Okay. Cool. And then like,
So just having a system is necessary that can like automatically follow up, in my opinion. That's
mhm.
why I like Go High Level System so much. Simple Send, I mean, I'm biased. It's obviously my favorite because I created it based on literally how I made a business as a solopreneur. Because I was closing 2 to 3 deals a month when it was just me. And it's because I created that system, right?
Mhm.
So I'm biased, but really you could use any of them. You could use Astro Blaster. It doesn't really fucking matter. Close, as long as Close can do the automatic follow-up, then Close works. Close is really expensive though. That's what I don't like about Close. Like how much do you pay for Close?
To add people, it sounds like it's expensive, but it's 150 a month right now.
Okay, how much are the techs?
It seems I don't know. It seems like it's like $10 a week, I guess. It just seems I haven't quite figured
Okay,
that out. I don't know what
that's
you're
pretty
probably
cheap.
paying more text. I mean, if you add people, it's like it would probably be another $100 if I added like another person, so they have their own full account. But as a one person, it seems to be,
Yeah, it's up to you. Simple Send, it's 150, but then you can add as many people as you want, and the cost doesn't change.
if you added reps and stuff like that. And
So it's up to you, man.
when did you add your first person, and why would you? Or what is your
It's
team build out right now?
I have I have like 12 people on my team. I have like 2 or 3 acquisition specialists. I have 2 admin VAs. I have 2 dispo VAs. I have 4 acquisition managers. I have 1 disposition manager and me.
What
Right?
is the difference between the specialist and the manager on the act side?
Act specialists generate leads. They do all the prop stream, all the. I also go to brokerage websites and create lists from there. They create lists off of brokerage websites. They do the initial outreach and then set up an intro call for my act manager. So my act managers only focus up on the follow up. Basically, they only do the follow up all day, every day, and deal with the text messages that come in from that because I have a whole operation. But none of that's important to you yet. For
Yeah,
you, you need to just generate. You should be generating 2 to 3 deals a month, easy as a solopreneur, with the right system.
yeah.
And then once you have the right system, then you can integrate people into that system.
Hmm. Yeah, because
So
well, I guess the thing that I didn't understand, like as far as like coming out of Astro and stuff like that, is like how do you hire somebody to do a free marketing method? That's the part that like kind of bends my brain because like
how does it bend your brain? Why?
because
Why does that bend?
why wouldn't they just do it themselves?
Well, they can make way more money with you.
Like if I'm paying for leads and then they're closing leads that I paid for and they're not paying for them and I'm giving them hot, warmish leads or whatever, that makes sense. But if they're just like they could buy your CRM too or anyone else's, like we talked about, then
Why wouldn't they
because
work for me? It depends on
yeah,
the person. So
this
first
isn't a
off,
and this isn't me like saying anything
no,
about
it's all good,
you.
Rudy. How long have you been working at wholesaling?
This is my third year starting now. Starting in
Right.
January. Yes.
You made 180 grand your third year. How much you make your first and second?
No, then my second year I made 160, 64K in my first year.
Okay. what if you just work for me? Like, I'm not saying you would do this at this point,
Right.
but and you also paid like 10 grand for astro flipping.
Yeah.
What if I told you without paying for anything, in fact, I'll pay you, you could make 120 grand a year just working in my system, right? That's why. Or otherwise, they're going to have to struggle for years until they can make actually a lot of fucking money. That's why.
Plug and play.
Yeah. I already have the system. I created the system where you can just come in and then close deals or don't.
Do you go through people all the time, or do people stick around?
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well,
Appreciate
I feel like
you.
you know what you need to do, right? You need a better system.
Yeah.
Like let's make sure we have like what's written down. Like, have you written down what you need to do in order to improve your business?
Yeah.
No. Okay, let's write it down before
Well, I
we
was
end
starting
it.
to Google Doc while we were talking, but I didn't want to be rude when we were on the,
No, it's
on
fine.
the video.
Let's see. Let's share your screen. I want to see the Google Doc. I want to make sure you actually have tangible takeaways from this that you can use to make your business better. That are things like you're actually going to do. So share your screen. Do you know how to do that in StreamYard? Go to the bottom and click present.
Okay.
See where it says present. Click that. Do you see it or no?
Yeah, I thought I'm on it. Oh.
Click present and then share screen. There you go. So open up a Google Doc. Let's take some notes. Let's make sure we got it right. All right. So number one is stop doing the manual Zillow thing. Like just make, I mean, speed up lead generation. Like you could just contact all the agents on PropStream, right? The way you're doing it with Zillow and manually is way too slow. Analyzing every property, seeing if you should make an offer, that's way too fucking slow. You could just literally buy agent leads, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's number one. It automatically follows up with the agents for me. That's number two. Am I buying simple send? Can I do this in close? What am I doing? Right? That's the second thing. What do I need to do in order to be able to automatically follow up with people? And that's it. If you do those two things, your business will get to 2 to 3 leads, 2 to 3 deals a month, guaranteed.
Damn, okay. So I put up the top here, like go from MLS listing forward business to agent outreach forward business. And so you're saying like that is the biggest switch here. Go from 80% MLS listings and 20% agent outreach to flip it to 80% or more agent outreach to MLS listings. Sure, if you got extra time, you know.
Yep, that's how you do it.
Damn. Okay. 100%. Not what I expected. So glad we chatted.
Yeah, man. You don't need more than that. That's what I just want to make sure you write that down. If you do that, watch what happens. You're gonna get so many more off-market leads. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck? This is crazy." Like these are way more likely to be deals than these fucking on-market ones.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's there's obviously like Hormozy says, he's right. Like do the boring work, but like it gets discouraging quick, right? On the MLS listings, like you got to like smack yourself in the face, but like keep
doing
going.
Boring work is fine, but you got to do boring work so that you can do unboring work soon.
Yeah.
So you stay in the game. Cool, man. Well, any last words before I end this?
I don't know. Thanks for doing this, dude, and kind of jogging my brain on this stuff. So
yeah, 100%. Anybody who's watching and wants me to break down their business, hit me up on Instagram. And for now, peace out, y'all.